So last week you got to see a little bit of what I ended up dealing with just before a wedding. Hi, it's Bill Hermann. It's a Creative License. Thanks for being a part of the Little Dog and Pony Show here again today. And last week's video, a lot of people checked in on. They had their own comments about how they thought it would go. They had their own comments about what they thought about what the facility did to make sure that the event went the way they wanted it to, instead of the way they thought would do best maybe for the bride and the groom and for the entertainment that they were bringing in. But that's neither here nor there. It was a good little video. A lot of people checked in on it. But one of the things that I got the most for comments was, so what'd you do? How did it go? Okay, so let me just quickly tell you a little bit about it. To recap, they had a really bad setup. Okay, most of the guests were going to be completely out of sight line with the dance floor for the spotlight dances. And for speeches, they were going to have some difficulty too with sight lines and things like that. And then when it would come down to bringing people out for the spotlight dances, I was going to have everyone stand up and walk about 50 yards over to the dance floor on the other side of a big stone fireplace that was pretty much as big as any wall that would be between you and all of your guests. So the idea was to get it all taken care of and make sure that everybody saw everything. So what did I do? Well, I created a narrative. And what I mean by that is, as the guests begin to arrive, and within the first few moments of everything you talk about, the narrative should speak to how everyone is going to be affected by the night. How they're going to be affected by what I do and what I say, and what they're going to do when I say things and when I do things. And get some, what I call, agreement in the room, agreement that when I ask them to get involved, that they will. Regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the difficulty of being a part of everything, they wanted to do it. Now, that's a difficult thing for a master of ceremonies, and it has to do with your connection with the couple, the family, and the connection you create in the first couple of interactions that you have with the audience. Now, I do it by greeting people as they arrive. That's one of the small things that I do. But I'm also getting to know people with everything that I say. I'm creating agreement about what they're going to do and how excited they're going to be about everything they're going to do every time I open the microphone. How I say a thing, what I talk about, how I set it up, and the narrative I create says, hey, it's exciting and it's time to play. It's time for Bill to show us what we're going to do next and to tell us how they're going to feel, how we're going to feel about it. Which, there's more to it than that, but in a 5-minute video, it's difficult to kind of go into it. But in essence, that's what I'm doing. By the time we got to the spotlight dances, all 250 of the people that were there had stood from their tables while they still had cake waiting for them, walked over to my dance floor, stood there and waited in breathless anticipation while I explained to them exactly what was about to happen, exactly how they were going to feel about it, and then presented to them for a spotlight dance for the bride and groom, to a mother and son dance, which was second, and a father-daughter dance, which was third, with songs that were longer than they should have been. But within that narrative, everyone leaned in every time for the right reasons. For you to be able to create a narrative, you need to understand what they want, why they want it, and then you need to communicate that to everyone in the room in such a way that they look at you, every last one of them, and says, okay, yeah, we're in. So, once again, in a nutshell, that's what I did. And that's how I dealt with it. Now, did I still have problems throughout the evening? Yeah. People still went back to their tables and out of sight and out of mind, and went back to the bar and out of sight and out of mind. But the things that I said, and when I opened the microphone from now on, each time I asked them to come and join me, they did, because I had created an agreement. I had created a thing in the room that said, when Bill says come play, we will. That's how I solve those problems in the room. And every room is different, and every audience is different, and every why is different. All right. I hope that was helpful to you. For some of you, you're going to look me in the eyes and say, what the hell was he talking about? I get that. Tell me in the comments below. Tell me what you think of the video. Tell me what you might have done to help solve that problem. Until next week, though, I'm Bill Hermann. This is Creative License, and we'll see you next time.